All right. Hi, everyone. A couple of minutes early. I just want to make sure everything looked okay over here. So, just to introduce myself, in case you don't know who I am Kayla Cox. I have lost over 80 pounds with intermittent fasting and walking 6 miles every day. So, that's a little bit about me. Uh, uh, One actually I'll wait on the update. There's a slight update on Jezza, which if you don't know what that is, in the beginning of, well, it was August 31st. I walked 100,000 steps in a single day. That's 43.2 miles to raise money for a well in Jezza, Uganda. And so we raised money. It was $10,000. And so uh, uh, I try to keep everyone updated on the progress. So yeah, so it's been a busy week so far. I published my book, and it's available on Amazon as an ebook. And I'm also currently recording the so that it can be on Audible. Hi there, Sweet Art Miniatures. Oh, I'm from Australia. I love that you're in Australia right now. I'm so gonna go there one of these days. Um, and then also we're getting the paperback ready. Hopefully, it will be ready next week as well. So yeah, so it's been a very, very, very busy week. I feel like I've been really in like high gear since the fundraiser. So, hey, Darlene, so good to see you. Hey, Enid. Um, oh, Linda, you are awake again at 4 a.m. I can't, I can't believe it. I wonder, are you normally an early riser, or do you like drag yourself out of bed for this? I'm just wondering, wake up early. I wake up about 5, but there are mornings where because of intermittent fasting, like sometimes I just don't require much sleep, and I'll wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and just be wide awake and ready to go. So, um, hi Lou, you're from the Philippines. Oh well, hello. Linda, the title of the book is The Laid Back Guide to Intermittent Fasting: How I Lost Over 80 Pounds and Kept It Off Eating Whatever I Wanted. So, um, Uh, hey Mary, so good to see you in here. Darlene, oh, you're so sweet. You read it and you thought it was really good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hi Molly from Texas. Um, let's see. Let's see. I think it's 6 o'clock on the dot. Uh, Today we're going to talk about patience. And when I was writing this book, I thought, oh man, patience was so, so important. I don't think I can overstate the importance of patience, because I think it's something. Well, I know for me, I'm not a natural born patient person. Like I'm just not. I'm not. I wasn't born that way. Patient little. I mean, I don't know if I was as a kid, but certainly as an adult, I was very impatient and always in a hurry, like just in a rush. And I want things done like yesterday, like not right now, just like, why isn't it done already? And I brought that into weight loss every time. It was always just like, I got to get this off, I got to get this off. And like with my first baby, after I lost that weight, it was like I was doing high intensity, like the HIIT, exercise and stuff, and just really, really, really going as hard as I can, like pushing myself, and rushing for those results. And so it has been really a journey. And so what I thought I would talk about for a few minutes is like, one, all the different places you're going to need patience with weight loss. And then two, like, how do you form patience? Like, how do you kind of cultivate it? Because it's a skill. I really believe it's a skill that can be learned. You can become a more patient person. Like, you can't have that limiting belief that I'm just impatient. I'm just an impatient person. If you say that to yourself, yes, you're right. You're always going to be impatient because you don't believe you can change. But I believe you can change. I changed. I mean, I used to kind of live my life like it was an emergency, Um, okay, let's talk about the different places you're going to need patience. First of all, you're going to find you need patience with the scale, because the scale is not going to go as fast as you want it to. I can almost guarantee you. I mean, I wanted to lose 5 pounds a week, like when I was first starting, and what I really had to come to terms with was it was going to be about a pound a week. And when I finally came to peace with that and realized, okay, this is going to take a lot longer than what I thought it was, because really, I mean, when you think it's going to be 5 pounds a week and you realize it's going to be 1 pound a week, it's going to take 5 times longer than what you thought it was going to. And so that was really difficult for me at first. But when I finally just made peace with it, it was like, oh, I just relaxed and I wasn't nearly as stressed. So there's the scale. Let's see what else. The well, and to me, walking was an exercise in patience. Like just learning that, like you can't, you harder, and yeah, it might help the scale move quicker, but it might not. And you can find yourself getting really, really frustrated if you start working out harder and harder and harder and really punishing yourself, and then you're not, seeing those faster results. So I think it's better to just find that exercise that you really like, you really enjoy, whatever that is, and then just be patient. Just say, okay, I'm gonna, like, I walk 6 miles every day. I just do that. That's what I do. I walk 6 miles every day. Some people do other things, and that's completely fine. But you just have to be, again, patient with it and just, enjoy it, basically. What else? Let's see. Plateaus. You're gonna plateau. I can almost guarantee you. I mean, maybe you'll be the one lucky person out there that has never experienced a plateau, because sometimes they happen even if you're being consistent, even if you're doing all the things right. Sometimes your body, it seems like, it just like goes, oh wait, what's going on? I don't want to lose this weight. And then it can stall out for a few weeks or six. And then, I have found if you're really, really consistent, you're not going to have really long plateaus. But it's just something that you have to learn how to be consistent, because you're going to probably face that. And then also sticking with your plan, whatever plan you pick. And I think you should pick whatever plan you feel like you can stick with. There's going to be this temptation, I think, where you're going to get in a hurry. Again, it goes back to getting in a hurry, but you're going to get in a hurry and you're going to think, oh, so and so is over there and they're doing this new diet thing and they're 5 pounds, okay, this week. And then you're going to think, but I only lost 1 pound, or I've only been losing half a pound. But the thing is, those people will also plateau, and a lot of times even people on the diets that I have heard about being the fastest, like keto, people who are strict keto, they plateau. They sometimes don't lose as quickly, like they're losing a pound or so a week. So just keep all that in mind. Don't always like go have like that shiny things syndrome. Let's see. So one thing I was thinking that would be helpful is to talk about different things you can do, some different opportunities that I've, like in my life, I try to practice patience all the time, and it's a skill again. So you just have to keep practicing at it and try to find those opportunities where you are getting impatient and then change your behavior, right? So one big place with me was with my kids, because that's where I tend to be very impatient. And kids give you lots of opportunities to be really patient or to be really impatient. So that was one thing I started to do, was to say, okay, what are they doing right now? Like, why am I getting upset with what they're doing? Like, normally it was like, we're trying to get out the door and you're taking forever to put your shoes on, or whatever the thing is. And so just learning, and I know this sounds, trite or whatever, but just like to breathe. Like, okay, think about, okay, what's the big deal? Like, so what? If we're late, what will happen? And okay, and then usually you start to realize, like, okay, this is no big deal, and just continue to breathe and continue to calm yourself down and to be really patient. And also, it helps you with your kids, because then you can be more patient with them, like as you're speaking to them. Because a lot of times what happens is like this vicious cycle. You start yelling like, oh, hurry up, and then they get all in a tizzy, and then they're taking longer. And so it can really just kind of be this vicious cycle. Driving in traffic. I'm in Southern California right now, and this is a thing that I had to practice a lot. But a game I kind of play with myself. I heard podcast a long time ago, but basically it said one way that you can kind of cure yourself of having, road rage or whatever, or a lot of different areas of your life, but is to start to make up stories about other people. Like, why are they in such a rush right now? Or like, why are they being such a jerk in traffic? Oh, well, they have this tragic backstory, right? Like, right now they just got a call that their mom is in the hospital, and that's why they're cutting everybody off. And if you do this often enough, it seems really silly at first, but then it's like you realize, you don't know what other people are going through, and it can really make you a more compassionate person, I think, but also it just makes you a more patient person. So, and then let's see what my husband said that he found help in like counting to 3 in his head, like down the children. That's a different kind of tactic. But if you just like if you find yourself getting impatient with something, just in your head, just start counting slowly, and it can calm you down, and you can be more patient. Um, a couple of phrases that I say over and over and over in my head is life is not an emergency, and because I used to live my life that way. And then the other one was past. And the key there, that's what the Navy SEALs say. And so the key there is if you just go slow, you won't make those mistakes, and then you're going to end up going faster than when if you were to just go back and try to be really rushed and everything, and you're going to make mistakes and everything. It's really faster to go slow. So anyway, those are the things that help me. So okay, so let me get to some here. I'm glad it's going to be timely, sweetheart. um Linda, oh, you're not an early riser. Well, you're so sweet for joining us. Let's see, Christina, you're on day 27, and you're noticing a lot of little changes, and they give you hope. That's awesome. I'm so glad. Uh, all day, mom. Oh, cool, thanks. I'm glad that you like the book. And hey, you guys, if you read the book and whatever you think of it, please leave me a review on Amazon if you've got the time. Just a quick review that really helps with people who maybe don't know me otherwise, but just see the book. It can really help. So and honest reviews too. I definitely want to learn and improve. So thank you. Oh, Sherry, no weight loss. It's such it's an exercise in patience and consistency. Um, Enid, you're transitioning back to OMAD. So I was wondering what were you doing before? Like, what did you switch over to? Uh, you sharing all that about yourself is like talking about me. I really, oh yeah. So, it's I think impatient, like being patient and all the struggles, they're very common. Like and I really think it's also something like when you struggle with weight, you're also struggling with stress, which also can kind of go back to patience too. Like I think maybe it's something with our personalities, right? Where it's kind of like we get in these rushes, and it's just same thing. Uh, okay, let's see. Oh, Enid, you're pushing lunch closer to dinner every day. You hope to be back OMAD by Friday. Okay, good. And you made it to TVM today. I think it's great that you're going slow, because I think it's much better to just say, I'm just going to push it out like an hour here, 2 hours there, or, I mean, I would even go like 30 minutes, just like, and some people even say like, just try to beat it by like a minute, just any kind of little step to get it a little bit faster, or a little bit further. Jim, 27 pounds down since the start of college at the end of August. OMAD is literally the only thing that worked for me in roughly 2 years of trying to lose weight. Thank you so much. Jim, that's awesome. 27 pounds down since August. That's like the end of August. So wow. Man, you are dropping weight. That's awesome. I am so happy to hear that. That's great. Hey, Sonia. I'm glad you're here. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Enid, I knew that you had been sick. Okay, so it did mess up your OMAD. Okay. Uh, Sonia. Okay, so you're down 35 pounds. That is awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. Sherry, you're glad that I don't do keto. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do keto. So and you said it seems like everybody's brainwashed. Here's the thing. Everybody's looking for the answer. Like they want it to be, and there's a lot of good marketing around all the different diet plans. Hey, I wrote a book. So like I get it. But the thing is, I mean, I've been overweight my entire life. Most of the time I was overweight. Sometimes I had small periods of time where I was at a normal weight, but I constantly read diet books, and went on different diets, and it was always they're always marketed as this is it. This is the next big thing. This is the exact, answer to your prayers. And it's always different. Like, and every book that I ever read, it's like, oh wow, this has a lot of science. Like I read Dr. Sears' book of the Zone Diet, and it's like, oh, well, this makes perfect sense. You got to balance your meals and do all this stuff. And then, the Atkins diet. I tried it barely, but I couldn't stick to just the no carb thing. My life, I couldn't do it. So, but my mom stuck to it. And certainly, it's like when you read the stuff, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But then, it's like, every diet, if you read stuff on veganism, it's like, oh wow, well that does really make sense. And then the carnivore diet, it's like, oh wow, interesting that they can have all these positive effects. And it's just, it can be very but I get it a lot. Like when you're saying brainwash, I think the thing is people just, that you have to drink the Kool-Aid, right? Like it's almost like because a lot of times these diets are really hard, and so you kind of have to convince yourself this is going to be worth it. This is going to be the healthiest thing for me, and so I get it, but I try to steer clear of that because I've seen enough now where it's like, oh wow, people can thrive and really lose weight on a wide variety of plans. It's really what you can stick to. Like I met a woman, it's been about a year ago now. She lost well over 100 pounds, and she ate 6 small meals a day. So the complete opposite of what I'm doing, right? And she was very happy doing that plan, and I'm very happy doing my plan. So yeah, I think there's just a lot of different ways to go about it. Enid, don't panic over that 2 pounds. It's probably water weight anyway. I know that, like, if I get sick, my water weight goes up. Like it just does. Like I feel like I just retain a lot of fluid. But Steven, you're the OMAD man. Awesome. Uh, Ketosis feels amazing. Crafty. Oh yeah, you did. You smelled funny when you did keto. I've heard people talk about that. Did I get the idea of fasting from Muslims? No. Fasting's in a lot of religions. That's a good point that you bring up. Pretty much all the major religions mention fasting or some form of fasting. And so it's not something I did for religious reasons, but I will say I feel like spiritually it improved my life. So yeah, let's see. Let's see what else. Hey, Franco, glad you made it. Uh, okay, let's see. Yeah, hey, and lots of self-care, Enid. I mean, the way you can look at it is even if you take the whole month off, right? That's like less than 10% of the year that you're taking off. It's fine. You'll be fine. As far as the weight loss, get better and take care of yourself. Today I took a nap. And like my husband was like, you've got to take a nap. I was exhausted. And with, all the different things I've been doing lately, I've just been going like go, go, go. And I really did. I needed just a nap, and I felt fantastic afterwards. So always take care of yourself. Always. Uh, let's see. So sweetheart, I changed my sedentary job for a job that included lots of walking, just killing two birds with one stone. That's a fantastic thing, right? And that I love that you said you just, I think you actually, like, for real, you change jobs. And that is something a lot of people kind of feel stuck, I feel like. And you have to take action. Like if you feel stuck and you don't like where you're at, then change it. So that's great. Let's see. Let's see. Peshguel, dealing with awful cravings over the last few weeks. Not sure how to deal with them. So Peshguel, I'm curious, like, I can't remember what you do. Do you do OMAD, but you restrict certain foods? Because I eat all the foods. So I really never have cravings because if I'm craving the thing, I'm going to have it either at dinner or on my cheat day, because I have the weekly cheat. So, so yeah, if you are, but if you mean that you are, if by craving you just mean you're having a lot of hunger during your fasting window, I would encourage you to eat more at your meal if you're doing OMAD, or more eating during your eating window, if you're just doing like a kind of thing. I've always found that, like, if I'm ever feeling hungry and stuff, it just means I'm not eating enough during the window or during my meal. Uh, let's see, Farah. You lost 42 pounds. You're finally you're under 200. You are in Wonderland. That is awesome. First time in 5 years. Congratulations, Farah. Oh, you make me dance all the time. Like, I love that you keep me updated. That is awesome. Ah, I love it. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Totally agree. Let's see. I'm way behind in the chat. Let's see. Rome wasn't built in a day. Such wise words. Rome was not built in a day, and it's like you took how long to put the pounds on. So kind of think in your mind like it might take that long to get it off, but it'll be totally worth it because the time's going to pass either way. Slow and steady wins the race. So true. That is such a, like, I know it's a very old tale, but the tortoise and the hare, I tell you what, it is so true when it comes to weight loss. Slow and steady. Yeah, so Crafty, you said you lost 18 pounds in 3 weeks with keto, which was amazing, and your nails were extremely healthy. Keto isn't sustainable for me. Yeah, as you have to cook for your entire family. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, so that was another thing I wanted to point out, especially with OMAD. I feel like people think, oh, if I go to OMAD, I'm just going to start dropping, 5 pounds a week. That's not what I found. And actually, I was looking back through my numbers because I wanted to, make sure that in the book I got all the things, very accurate. And one thing that was really surprising to me is when I actually went to OMAD, like that first week, my weight did drop by like 7 pounds, right? But then it really, it like kind of plateaued for the rest of that month. And then it went down at about a pound a week. So that was very interesting to me. Like my 7 day average, like from the beginning of April to the end of April, it was like a pound a week, or it might have been a little bit more than that. But it wasn't like I suddenly started dropping tons more weight. I just happened to like OMAD better because then I could just say, oh, I just eat once. Like I don't have to think about windows and all that stuff. And it just gave me more time. But anyway, so the point is, there's no magic bullet. Let's see. Sonia, my weight constantly fluctuates. I'm not doing anything special. I'm losing a pound or so a week now, so I'm okay with that. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, my weight fluctuates like mad. I mean, it's crazy, and I've just learned like to deal, to not even like worry about it. My weight fluctuates up, it fluctuates down, trend over time, fluctuating down. So that's all I care about. Let's see. Let's see. Is it true that low carb makes fasting easier? Sweetheart, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true. Well, some people find that. Some people do find that. I think especially the addition of fat, like making sure you're getting plenty of fat, is something that I've found. Like if I don't get enough fat in my meal, I feel like I'm not full the next day. So then that's making fasting harder. But I love carbs. Like I feel the best, the most energy, and the most like I just feel the best, feel the most full the rest of the day, or in so that day and then the next until I eat my next meal is if I eat plenty of fat, gets a lot of carbs and some protein. And I don't know how much protein I'm eating. I don't count calories or macros or anything, but I'm just saying like I've also experimented just like a random day or two here or there with like what would be very, very low carb, and I found it very, very hard the next day. Like there was one day that we ate, like I ate chicken wings, and I think that else it was just like a plate full of chicken wings, and the next day I was like ravenous. So I don't know, I think it's probably just different people react different ways to different kinds of you know carbs and portions and fat and protein. So just I would say experiment, see what works for you. Sonia, that's great. You're wearing things you haven't worn in forever. Mary, let's see. I'm only losing about a half a pound per week. You're 55, postmenopausal, and hypothyroid as well. Have about 65 pounds to lose. Trying to be patient, but losing motivation. Help. Okay, first of all, I would say you're losing a half a pound a week. That's fantastic. Okay. If you lose a pound a week, right, that's going to be a little over a year. Yeah. If it's a half a pound a week, it's going to be 2 years. Okay, so you're talking about you're going to be 57 instead of 56 when you reach your goal. if you continue to lose at a half a pound a week. I know that's hard to say, like, like, oh man, that just doesn't seem fast enough. But the time passes, and like, I'll give you an example from me. So even though I lost a pound a week, like that first initial thing I did, when I got down to 157, I decided to maintain for like almost a year. And then I went back to OMAD and walking 6 miles a day and cheat day on Sunday. And that, since then, so like I was right at almost a normal BMI. And since then, I've lost about 17 pounds. But it took a year to lose 17 pounds, which is, like, I think a third of a pound a week. So it took time. But you know what? The time passed. And even though the weight was like just crawling off, it feels like, or just, it just barely coming off. I would rather be doing that than going the other way. So, you just have to kind of, like, I would say, if whatever you're doing, if it feels easy, you feel like, hey, I could stick to this for years, then stick with it and just say, it's going to take, it's going to take 2 years, to get down to my weight, or maybe a little over 2 years. Okay. And just be okay with it. And you might find that once you can really relax and just focus on being consistent and not being in a hurry, maybe it'll come off a little bit quicker. But, and I wonder, Mary, how long have you been doing this? And if you want to give me any further details, you can too. Yeah, don't spaz, Enid. That's so good. Hey, Sutherland girl, glad to see you in here. Let's see. Oh wow, Stephen, you cured your diabetes with OMAD. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Hey, and Stephen, if you'd ever like to be on an interview with me, let me know. Kayla at 6milestosupper.com. Mr. Beebe, you're on my list. I saw your email just a minute ago, so I'm gonna get back to you. And I interviewed Mary earlier this week, Mary Kennedy, and so she'll be our next interview. And then Mr. Beebe's going to be on there, and I hope to have many more people lined up soon. So, yeah, Enid, so you said motivation is overrated. You need to work on self-determination, decide on a reward for 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds you lose. Yeah, that's true. Like, I think, like, motivation, yeah, because you're making a distinction there between, like, self-determination and motivation. I think, what some people think is, like, I've got to remain excited and everything, and you really don't. You have to just kind of learn, determined, that kind of, like, I'm just going to do it, and, that's just what I do. And I've made that decision, and I'm just going to keep going until I reach my goal. And the only way you can really fail is if you quit. So, yeah. Let's see. Did I can't remember now if I updated everybody on Jezza, the Jezza well. Let's see. What just happened? Let's see. Keto works great for people. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good that you can, assess that, Darlene, and just say, would that work for me? And if you think no, then I think your gut is probably right. Let's see. I've given up on right now. I've failed so many times because of it. I'm over fad diets. Everyone is seeing the difference. I still haven't given up beer. That's awesome, Sonia. It's so true though. Fad diets, they come and they go, and it changes yearly. What's allowed, what's not, what's the hot new thing. Let's see what else. Let's see. Let's see, Lou. I'm trying OMAD today, but you're already on 16.8. I hope I will gain patience. And on when I definitely attain my ideal weight. Yeah, and you will obtain it. It just, you might not know when. That's the thing. It's like, if you just keep going, you're gonna get there. You just have to say, I think it'll probably be here. You really can't. I don't think it's a good idea to have a very strict deadline of, I'm going to reach my goal weight by this time. You can make a guess, and you can say, I think if I continue to go this way and I continue to be really consistent, I think I'll make it by around this time. But the danger is if you have a really strict deadline, you might start doing things that you can't sustain, and then you're going to have a hard time maintaining. So, let's see. If you're already a 16:8, push your yeah, uh, yeah, just pushing your window out gradually if you feel you need to. Some people do great on a 16:8. You know, they're like, they lose because I mean, when you look at my numbers, I was losing about a pound a week before OMAD and a pound a week after OMAD. So I mean, it you don't necessarily get a huge boost from being at OMAD as opposed to a longer window. Yeah, sustainability is so key, Valerie. Um, yeah, productivity. Ah, I love how productive I can be because of OMAD. It's awesome. Oh, and OMAD cured you of nighttime binges. Yeah, there was so much that it helped me with, like just learning how to not stress eat. Just like, oh, you're stressed right now. You need to deal with that instead of like going to the kitchen and eating something. Uh, you can crochet more. That's awesome. Let's see. Franco, why do I feel fat doing OMAD? I'm 5 months now and lost a total of 51.8 pounds. That's awesome. Not bloated, but not gaining weight either. That's a good thing. Wondering if anyone has experienced this. Let's see. Are you saying you feel like, you feel fat? You're five, let's see, you're down 51 pounds. Do you have a lot more left to lose, or do you feel like, I don't know. I mean, I still have, some belly fat. Um, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, sometimes I'll think I thought it would be less, but that's where I always carry weight first, and I'm assuming that means that's the last place I'll really lose it from. Um, but I don't know. Basically, I don't know, Franco. But I don't feel fat. I feel like, oh well, I've got some excess, different places. But um, oh, Enid, you walked 40 miles with bronchitis. Oh, you're tough. Let's see. Carnivore is restrictive, but so much more satisfying than omnivore. Actually, yeah, you don't recommend it. Yeah. So see, and I think that's good to say to yourself, like, this is good for me, but or maybe it is really restrictive and it's more satisfying, but it's not for everybody. And I think that's pretty much what you could say about every diet. It's not for everybody. Intermittent fasting is not for everybody. Keto, not for everybody. And so I think, or certainly counting calories, not for everybody. Um, let's see. Yeah, Sonia, so you said it's a mental thing about feeling fat. Uh, yeah, yeah, you cannot tell yourself like I'm so huge, and I catch myself a lot of times with the belly fat thing. I'll catch myself being critical of it, and I'll be like, I am tickled to death of where I'm at and what I've done. So, it's a constant thing, training your brain to just be nicer, right? Um, hey, Carlene, I'm so glad to see you in here. Uh, so Enid, your husband is doing intermittent fasting because eating constantly was messing up his teeth. Oh, interesting. Hey, and so now you've got like a buddy. My husband is really trying hard. He's in here right now, moderating the comments. Thank you for doing that, Jay. And he is trying to do OMAD. He's like, I'm doing the exact opposite of what you tell people to do. Like he tried to go straight from like nothing to OMAD, and so he's trying really hard. He's been pretty good. Like sometimes I think he went back to kind of doing like a 16-hour fast or so. Uh, oh, Stephen, you asked, what do I think of OMAD Revolution? I finally caught a couple of his videos. I think he's great. I mean, I haven't seen all of them, but I really would love to get him on this channel and interview him. Henrietta, oh, hey, I'm glad to see you. It's 2 a.m. in England. Oh, I'm so glad that you woke up. That's great. I'm so glad you joined us. We're just talking about patience, the importance of patience, and talking about intermittent fasting. Uh, yeah. Okay. So he's healthy. He's at a healthy weight. Uh, so so excellent. That is so good that you got like a buddy now. Uh, let's see. Uh, aw, you're sweet, Enid. Yeah, I didn't know like the stuff. I didn't notice him being annoyed, but I again I only saw like two videos, so Teresa, you're right. Everybody is different, and some people do find keto. Like my dad is doing keto and doing some intermittent fasting with it, and my brother-in-law is doing keto, and they're both having fantastic results. So I say whatever works for you. Um, let's see. Agatha, you asked, did I add the cheat day after I reached the goal weight? No, I kept the I started the cheat day in January 2016. And that was an idea I got from Tim Ferriss. He was talking about how it can really help you stick to your eating plan better. And so when I wrote down my plan, I said, okay, that's something I'm going to do. And that was the year I went from I dropped like 50 pounds basically. So from 207 down to 157. And I still do cheat day, and I'm always going to do cheat day. so, so let's see, Peshkuel, so you do OMAD and you eat everything, so no restrictions, but I cannot stop eating during the fasting window because of hunger over the last while. So I guess you do not have to resist hunger. I feel terrible hunger. Okay, so, okay, what I would say again, Peshkuel, since you are eating food, like all the food that you like in your eating window, but you're still hungry in your fasting window. A couple of things, okay? There's a lot of different kinds of hunger. What I found. Like there's true hunger. True hunger is like you didn't eat enough in your eating window, and you're just like ravenous. Like you're really really hungry, and the hunger sticks with you all day. You're just hungry. I would like if I mess up and I don't eat enough eat during the next part of the day. I just like I'm really really stubborn about not eating during my fasting window. But that's pretty rare for me because I eat a lot at my meal. The big thing that I found, the hunger that I experienced most often during that fasting window is stress. And yeah, usually stress, not so much tired. You can be tired and get hungry, but usually that was at night. If I was really hungry during the day, just like bam, right, kind of like out in the middle of nowhere, like I'm right in the middle of my fasting window, and then just all of a sudden I feel hungry, stress. I'm stressed about something. I'm stressed, worried, and I need to take action on it. And that's the best thing you can do is if you're stressed about something, figure out what's stressing you out and take action. Sometimes I mean just going for a walk can kind of help me clear my head, but usually it means I need to do something about it. And actively eliminate stress from my life. I don't know if that's happening to you, but I would say eat during your window, but then if you're also stressed, then do something about the stress. Um, oh, Sherry, yeah, it took 2 months to feel good. Interesting. Uh, okay, so yeah, so avocado is real. Oh, and like guacamole, I love some guacamole. It's got lots of good fats in there for you. Uh, ooh, nice fatty chuck roast. You guys are almost making me hungry, and I just ate. Yeah, and in Peshkuel, that's hard if you're ravenous. So again, make sure you're eating plenty. It's very hard. I think that was one of the hardest things to learn about intermittent fasting. It was so the opposite of every other diet I'd ever been on because in every other diet I always felt hungry. I was always like really careful, like, oh, I can't eat. I need to eat less. I need to, but with intermittent fasting, it's very important that you eat enough during your window. And it's just an interesting thing to have to learn how to eat plenty, not too much because you don't want to be miserable, but not cheating yourself and eating too little because you really are cheating yourself because what will happen is if you don't eat enough during your eating window and then your fasting window is too difficult, then you're going to end up going off plan and not being consistent. Um, so Peshkuel, I would say make your like if you feel like right now you're eating as much as you possibly can in your eating window, but yet you're not able to eat enough to fill up for the rest of like during your fasting window, then I would say make your eating window longer. It's you got to find that just right point where you're eating enough but not so much that you're just maintaining. You have to figure out where you're going to actually lose weight if that's what you're trying to do. Enid, I love cheese too. Man, I got some really good Kerrygold cheese. Like we had it for date night. It was called the Dubliner Wedge. Oh man, it was so good, so different. Uh, let's see. Go put a little salt on your tongue when you feel hungry. Ooh, interesting. I've never tried that. I'll have to try that if I ever get if I'm sure I'll get hungry at some point sometime. Um, Carlene, yep, we're good. We are so gonna have coffee. I'm in California right now in Oceanside, so I'll be, I'll be going back east probably pretty soon, but I don't think we'll be up in Oklahoma because it's too cold up there right now. So, let's see. Uh, let's see here. No. Oh, and you know what? I still have that no salt from Jezza, the walk for Jezza's well, and that stuff was so nasty. I remember like I was just like licking it on walk. Oh man, and I can't remember. Did I say all the things? But I'll go ahead and update anybody who missed it. So the update on Jezza's well is they've dug several different places and they have not yet found water. They a while back they did the first like test drill. They dug down 100 feet. They didn't find water, so they've tried several other places and they still haven't found it. They've got one more place to try and a different piece of equipment. So we're very hopeful that this place, so if you're a praying person, please pray that they will find water. If not, they're going to have to figure out plan B. And I don't know what plan B will be, but I'm determined that I will try everything in my power to do anything I can. So please be praying. I feel kind of helpless, but anyway, so thank you guys for your prayers and for donating. Okay, so let's see. Back to the questions. The time's going to pass anyway, but it's so true. Like, when I look back, it's like, from 2014 is really when I said, okay, I've got to do something about this. It took me until 2015 to even get on the scale. 2016 is when I really lost the bulk of the weight. And then even for, this past year, losing 17 pounds, so a total of 4 years has passed since, well, four, yeah, no, almost it's almost 5. It's almost 5 years at this point. So the time would have passed anyway. So, and I'm thrilled to death that I just said, I'm going to do it. I got very determined in 2014. It took me a while to figure out the thing that worked. But anyway, Sherry, thin but can't. See, and you said you're plateauing. I'm wondering, are you just at a good weight? Like, maybe you've got some love handles, but I'm just curious. Okay. So, Mary, okay, so you've been doing this since July 10 of this year. Uh, okay, good. You're settled in for the long haul. Well, very good. And that's good. I'm glad. Uh, let's see. Good evening. Walking is physically hard for me. Arthritis sucks. Oh, I'm sorry. Some days are easier than others. You're up to 2,000 steps. Hey, 2,000. That's great. And you're type 2 diabetic. Okay, well, yeah, and walking is, I think it's great that you're doing it, whatever you feel like you can do, just like, if 2,000 steps, like, just do consistently 2,000 steps. I think you'll find benefit from that. I really do. Oh, good, Stephen. My husband gave you that email address, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Sweetheart, you asked, what is your next project? Well, right now the next project is I'm recording the audiobook, of the book I just published. That'll take me a few days. But then after that, I am working on, I am coaching. I'm doing private coaching, and that has been going really well. I'm thinking of doing a group coaching option, but I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I would construct that and how that would work. I'm thinking of building some courses maybe. I don't really know. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I would love to speak, like do some public speaking, but I haven't really ever put myself out there yet, as far as like I haven't really approached anybody to do that. So we'll see. But that's kind of, I've got a lot of different things I'm interested in trying. So, and if anybody has requests, please let me know about, like, oh, I wish you would do this or that. Let me know. I've got a lot of different ideas. It's just a matter of figuring out what do I need to focus on. So, Let's see. Let's see. If carnivore works for you, do it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, seriously, I feel like carnivore, when I think of just like, I could, like steak every day, I could do that for a while. I mean, probably not for well, certainly not for the rest of my life because I love cake and bread and pasta and everything way too much for all that. And gosh, it'd be expensive. Like to try to feed your family on a carnivore diet, I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine what the grade would be. But, um, oh man. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Like it's crazy. $500 a month on MetaFast. Yeah. And really, it is. It's so cheap. Like fasting is like the cheapest thing you can do, right? So, um, hey, that's good. You're doing a 16/8. Diabetes is under control, so that's really good. Wow. Well, you've lost 50 pounds, and okay, so you've hit a little bit of a wall, but look, 50 pounds is great. Plateaus happen to everybody. Keep doing what you're doing. Just focus on just do what you know you can do, and just be in it for the long haul. We're all in it for the long haul, and I'm telling you, just stick with it, and you're gonna get exactly where you want to go. Uh, yeah, that's so true. Like it costs less money because you eat less. I certainly eat less than I used to, for sure. Um, let's see, Anon but Anon. I admit to head games with the scale. It was up a tiny bit today, and I had to remember I can't expect it to go down every single day. And then I'm down 39.8 from your known high weight. So you're in it for the long run. Oh, so true. And first of all, congratulations on being down 39.8. That's so good. But yeah, like the head games that you play with yourself, like when the scale goes up, and it does go up. Sometimes it goes up for like a good reason, like you had a bunch of salty food or a bunch of sugary food, and sometimes it's just random. It's like, where'd that come from? And you just have to say, oh well. Like you just have to say that's interesting, but as long as you're sticking to your plan, there's really nothing to worry about. I always check myself, like, okay, wait, am I sticking to my plan, or have I had a lot of off plan days, or a lot of stress? Like stress can certainly kind of stall out the scale in my experience, but I'm glad you're getting that head game down. uh Carnival, you asked what does my OMAD look like? Calories, foods, all the foods. Generally higher carb, I would say. I'm gonna pay for this tomorrow probably because tonight's meal was like 2 platefuls of spaghetti, like spaghetti. So this like regular spaghetti noodles with Prego, from a jar, meat sauce, and then my husband like browned some ground turkey meat, which is like it's not the good kind of turkey meat that's like really good for you. It's like 85% lean or something. It's got just as much fat as ground beef, but mix that all up, and so then we ate that. But my kids are eating more now, so like we didn't have as much there, so I had like 2 platefuls. So I'm probably gonna eat popcorn after this. Like that's something I do with my husband sometimes, um, but generally my OMAD looks like 2 to 3 platefuls of food, and generally it's pretty high carb, rice and beans with like either sour cream and cheese or mayonnaise. I know that seems weird to you people, but it's a southern thing. Or tacos, or I mean, it's just like American, family food, like casseroles. Like there's this thing called man pleasing chicken that I love. It really just depends. Like I just eat whatever my family is eating. So the calorie count, I have no idea. I don't even know. Like I can eat a lot of food. Like I can sit there and eat 2 hamburgers and a side at a sitting, just to kind of give you an idea of like I'm not just eating like one little thing. I can eat a lot of food, but I did do a blog post. It's been a while now, but it's called like Intermittent Fasting Meal Plan or something, and it just listed all the foods I ate in a given week, with the portion sizes and stuff. So Jay, if you could link to that. So let's see. Okay, so Jewel, I started at 286 and now I'm at 235. It is frustratingly slow, but Jewel, I can't remember now how long. let's see. How fast or fast are you losing? I know you said it's frustratingly slow, but you're down 50 pounds. That's awesome. I mean, like, 50 pounds. That's incredible. Like, don't discount that. Like, that is a lot of weight to drop, and you're doing fantastic. I'm going to say it right now. I don't even care how long it took you. I don't care if you're going to say it took you 3 years to get here. Well, but still, you're down 50 pounds. That's awesome. Um, let's see. Let's see here. Sherry, got it. Yeah. So Enid, yeah. So you went straight to OMAD. There is a definite. I think for most people, there's like a definite adjustment period, and I feel like some people they give up on it too quickly because they're like, oh, this is too hard. Just start out with a shorter fasting window, I think. So, uh, let's see. I said Jay added in what he was doing. That's good. 5'9" almost. Let's see. Uh, Enid, you are so tough when it comes to just not eating when people are eating around you. I'd totally admire you for that. Um, yeah, and Mr. BB, good point on you try not to cheat too much on your cheat days, and that's something that I had to try to figure out how to really put that to people in the book, because at first I just said there are no rules, and that's not really true, because really the rule is don't eat until you're miserable, and that's really the rule all the time, is don't eat until you're miserable. Really, to me, cheat day is just like a day to just be normal and to just eat with my family every meal, and eat a snack if I want a snack. It's very freeing to see that I don't just like stuff my face in all day long and get ridiculously miserably full like I used to before I started intermittent fasting. So yeah, that's a good point, Mr. BB. Uh, okay, so it took you 2 months, Sherry. Interesting. Um, yeah, the mental clarity was the clincher. Yeah, so true. Mental clarity, so good. That's what Jay's going for. Franca, you asked, how do you choose a healthy weight range, and how did you come up with a healthy? What did I do? So that, I think, for me, is BMI. I mean, look, you're gonna have. There's a lot of different people out there. They'll be like, oh well, BMI doesn't. It's not perfect. Nothing. I don't think is perfect. And really, it's all kind of. I kind of get to the thing where it's like, okay, with BMI, for example, I got down to 157 and I felt fantastic there. I was technically 3 pounds overweight at that point. I think at 154, that's when I would be normal weight. And I'm sitting there thinking, really, does it matter? I mean, like, really, is it going to make that big of a difference with my health one way or the other? So for me personally, I just said, you know what? I'm happy here. The holidays are here. Let's see if I can maintain this. And I did, and then I thought, okay, it always bugged me though, is like in the back of my head, like, oh, you're still 3 pounds, which I know is completely arbitrary, but it bugged me enough that I wanted to go ahead and get down. I wanted to get down further into what I felt like the normal range. Like for me, it's between 115 and 154. So there's a good weight range there. I mean, that's what, like 40 pounds almost. So I feel like, if you do that, like if you're just looking for like what's a good weight, look at the BMI. Like it just goes off of your height, and that's it. Actually, it's just your height. It doesn't make a difference if you're male or female, and just look at that, because I was looking up some stuff the other day, and it's really not a good idea to be underweight. That can actually be just as dangerous as being overweight, apparently. So I don't want to get down much further than where I'm at right now. I'm actually considering just saying, okay, I'm ready to maintain again, because the holidays are almost upon us again, and I also want to experiment with some longer fasts too, and just for the sake of just being, like, okay, I'm currently maintaining, and I'm going to do some longer fasts and stuff. I think that'll be a good way to do it. So anyway, but I think, and then ultimately also with the healthy weight thing, I think you got to look at how do you feel? Like, do you feel good where you're at? Like, do you feel like you can do the things you want to do in life? Then, I would say be okay with where you're at. If you're feeling good, then that's really the most important thing. That's my opinion. But Evelyn, OMAD doesn't induce binging. Bad habits do regardless of diet. Good point. Like, to me, OMAD actually helped me to stop binging because there were so many times where I couldn't eat, and generally mine was tied to stress. I feel like when I would just sit there and eat and eat and eat, it was because I was stressed about something. So then I had to start actively dealing with my stress because I was only eating the one time a day, and then so the binging went away because of that. But um, uh, let's see. So Sonia, you said just all of a sudden you're craving like sweets. Um, okay, so what I found is hormonal things do that to me. Like right around my period time, I'm like, bring on the chocolate, give me the donuts. Like other times of the month, I don't care. Like I'm like, I don't want anything sweet. I don't care. But then there are other times of the month, it's like, give it to me now. Um, so it could just be hormonal. I would definitely check in with myself and see, am I feeling stressed right now? Because a lot of times it's just comfort, you're craving like a comfort food type thing. But I wouldn't worry about it though, basically. I kind of just go through, and sometimes I think I just kind of go through phases. Like I'm going through kind of like a sweets phase right now, and whatever. I just don't worry about it. Uh, Sweet crunchy grapes. Yeah, I have found kids love fruit. Like if you don't give them candy all the time, they'll eat fruit. I mean, they'll still eat candy when I give it to them, but uh, we don't really bring a lot of candy into the house. That's just like a habit of ours. I mean, it's expensive, first of all. It's like, here, have some grapes, or apples or whatever. How often do I weigh myself, Stephen? You asked. I weigh myself daily. I started weighing myself daily in February of 2015, and I plan to continue to weigh myself daily for the rest of my life because to me it's just like a way to keep myself accountable. I keep track of my 7 day average. That's really the number I pay more attention to than my single day weight. My single day weight can fluctuate so much. I tend to be the type of person that can really, the water weight can just go up and down. So then I just average my weights in a spreadsheet, and that will let me know how my weight is trending over time. And really, I look back at like the past 2 months and I say, okay, 2 months ago, where was I, and where am I today? Okay, I'm going in the right direction. If it seems like I'm not going fast enough, so um, let's see. Uh, Praying for water. Oh, thank you, sweetheart, for praying for water. Uh, Southern girl, that was a hard lesson for you. You'd make a small plate of food and then try to fight through hunger at your next meal. Now I load up and eat, and I'm content. That's so good. Yeah, it's such a hard lesson when you're like, when you've struggled with weight your entire life. It's like, what do you mean? I gotta make sure I eat enough. Like, it's just it's a freeing thing too. Mr. BB, the World Series is going on. What was I thinking having a live right now? uh, yeah, I can't explain it too well other than just calling it craving. Pregnancy cravings, it feels like mine is a pregnancy. Yeah, you're not hungry or just, yeah, I would say, yeah, just, it's probably just a little phase. I wouldn't worry about it. I would eat the thing that you're craving though. I mean, that's been my rule all the time. Like, you're craving a donut? Okay, you better go get some donuts. Like, just do it. It'll be fine. Um, Thank you, Henrietta, for praying. Traitorous hunger. Um, yeah, increase your fruit. That's good. That's good. That's probably better than go eat a donut. But I mean, the thing is, I find that if I just say, I'm going to go eat that donut or whatever, then I just don't think about it and it's not a thing. But if I say, I'm not going to eat that donut, I'm going to have a piece of fruit instead. Well, I still want that donut and now I've eaten fruit, instead. And to me, it just helps to just eat the thing. Um, Oh, good. That's awesome, Stephen. That you like the Jim interview. I'm glad. Man, Jim, I'd love to have him back on again. Uh, let's see. Hey, Rock Boss. Uh, let's see, brought new clothes and shoes after 15 years. That's awesome, Steven. That's fantastic. Used to binge on donuts 3 days a week, and those days are gone. That's awesome that you're not binging anymore. Oh, you don't like donuts? What's wrong? I'm just kidding. I I like donuts. I like really good donuts. I'm pretty picky now though. Um, that's so awesome, Enid. I love it. Sorry, I'm trying to get through all the comments. We're coming up right on an hour. You guys are so awesome. Uh, oh man, let's see. I'm trying to see if there are any more questions. Yeah, and Mr. BB, you're right. BMI doesn't figure in muscle mass, so certainly, again, not perfect, just a rough thing. Depends on, if you're just looking for a rough kind of like, yeah, maybe shoot for here. Yeah, so, yeah, Kayla, yeah, I'm 5'6". Thanks for saying that, Jay. Uh, and Southern Girl, yes, what's my weight right now? I'm right at 140, so I've lost about 82 pounds since my highest confirmed weight. So, uh, let's see. Oh, yeah, thank you, Jay, for answering. You said, is weighing yourself daily tyrannical? No, I don't find it that way. It When I found that I weigh myself every day, I don't I'm not afraid of it anymore. It's like a daily accountability thing. It's like brushing my teeth, flossing my teeth. It is a thing I do for my health every day. I know exactly where I'm at. If I weigh every day, I will never have a day like I had on February 20th, 2015, where I looked on the scale. I thought I was going to see 185, and instead I saw 222. That will never happen again if I continue to weigh myself every day. So that's why I do it. So, uh, okay, well, I think, are we at, it's almost 7 o'clock. So I'll go ahead and wrap up. Uh, and Melissa, you asked, yeah, that's a good question. Do I feel like feasting is just as important as fasting? I do. I think that you really have to, in order to fast, you have to feast. Like, if you're going to do this consistently over time, cannot sit there and have tiny portions and then just be hungry all day the next day. It's just not going to be sustainable. So I really do feel like having a good big meal is really really important, and that's what will keep you on the right track. That's what I think. Okay, well, thank you guys all once again for joining me. Didn't get to all the comments. Maybe I think I finally reached the bottom. So um, uh, and Sharon, you said you've stuck to the 16-8 routine. I try eating on the weekends, and still nothing has changed. Okay. So Sharon, I would say if you're being very consistent with 16-8, that means like you're not eating a bite of food outside of your eating window, and you're being very very consistent. But the scale hasn't changed in like 6 weeks. If you're saying no movement at all, then I would say push out your fasting window a little bit further if you feel like you can. If you feel like that's too hard, then stay right where you're at and keep being consistent. And then also, if you have a tendency to stress eat, start working on stress. Like work on getting rid of it if that's the thing you deal with. Okay, well, and Sharon, also join the Facebook group. You'll get a lot of encouragement there if you're on Facebook. And thank you guys for joining me. Be sure to head on over to the Facebook group and join there if you haven't already. We're having a good time over there. And yeah, and so if you'd like to buy the book, buy the book. I worked very, very hard on it, and a lot of people have said they really enjoyed it and they really got something out of it. So I will see you guys again next Wednesday, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know what the topic will be, but I'll try to post that soon. And be looking for Mary's interview later on this week on the channel. And I'll see you guys later.